3 weeks is what it took to completely pull the rug from under an entire community's feet, and the worst part is DICE and EA don't even care. They've taken our money and they're laughing in the face of players. 3 weeks ago, you could look at Battlefield 6 with hope and see a game that players have been asking for years. A simple single-player campaign, multiplayer with modes like Conquest and Breakthrough, and don't get me wrong, the game still had its issues. It wasn't perfect, but it was a leap in the right direction for the franchise, with some players liking or not liking the open weapon system. A whole bunch of challenges to also unlock equipment and weapons, other than just simply leveling up. Mind you, the challenges are in a terrible spot right now, and developers made these forgetting a majority of the player base actually have lives outside of the game. Then of course the community started using the portal mode to create XP farms because it was overall a more enjoyable time to farm bots than play the actual game. But then DICE came and removed all progression and XP from bot matches. This still has players annoyed since one of the promises during the marketing campaign was full progression for Portal game modes. Now you have to play against full lobbies of real people, which I know Battlefield is primarily a PvP game, but some people do enjoy playing co-op in low-stress environments, so when you take that promise back and stop people from doing that when it was already in the game in the first place, then it's a crap situation to be in. Let's also not forget that the community is still waiting on some game-breaking bugs to be fixed, such as locking onto air vehicles and blowing them up with rockets that are bugged out, and the recon drone bug where people are literally flying around the map. These still have not been fixed even after being in the game since day one. Slowly the goodwill they've built up is going down the toilet. Fast forward 3 weeks later to the introduction of an update called Rogue Ops, where they introduced a new vehicle, 3 new weapons tied to the new battle pass, which we'll speak about in a minute, 2 new attachments which are unlocked by challenges, a new game mode called Strike Point, and of course the introduction of the free-to-play Battle Royale and Gauntlet mode, and microtransaction store featuring rotating items. But that's not all, they also have brought alongside the Battle Pass something called Battlefield Pro, which works as some form of subscription locking general gameplay features behind a paywall. There is so much wrong with this new update, and it honestly has changed the identity of the game. I loaded up Battlefield 6 to be greeted by a wide number of pop-up messages trying to sell me things. Timers on every item of the store featuring weapon blueprints, the Battle Pass skins and different bundles. And don't forget the page where you can buy their Battlefield coins that you can use to unlock the Battle Pass. Let's take a moment to talk about the Battle Pass, which costs a total of 1,100 Battlefield currency or $10 when you aren't looking at some fake coin. The Battle Pass here offers 100 different tiers of rewards, including new weapons, which are available to players even if you don't purchase it. The pass then requires you to earn tokens, 10 to unlock one item in the pass. That then separates into 4 different paths for you to pick which to complete. You can earn tokens by completing your weekly challenges, which used to offer XP but now exclusively offer tokens towards the Battle Pass. This has some players upset because week 1 has a challenge that expires but offers a full level by itself. However, it does also force players into the new Battle Royale mode, which is a literal copy of Call of Duty Warzone, even down to the crappy armor plate use. I genuinely dislike how Warzone was done, and I'd rather not play a Battlefield version of it at all, which is a sentiment from a lot of players. Not only that, but by purchasing the Battle Pass, you also earn an extra 10% XP from all sources, so you level up faster than those that don't, because buying the game for $70 or more is not good enough to level up at a decent rate. Don't forget, of course, you also get access to instant unlock rewards to sweeten the deal of buying the Battle Pass. Not only that, but if you purchase the Battle Pass, you then get access to hosting 64-player persistent servers in the Portal mode, because how scummy can you be locking basic features of the mode you paid for behind a Battle Pass? And don't get me started on this Battlefield Pro nonsense, which is essentially Battlefield 6's Battle Pass Pro version. This costs you a whopping $25 and offers you 15% extra XP compared to those who don't own the Battle Pass at all. And then you can host servers with up to 100 players. Like, are you kidding me? This is sounding on par with the new tiers of Game Pass. Then Battlefield Pro also has its own instant unlock rewards that the normal version doesn't get, on top of skipping 25 tiers of rewards in the Battle Pass. Not only that, we then also get a Battlefield Pro Battle Pass path with unique rewards and Battlefield Pro assignments or challenges that unlock even more unique rewards. I'm just so jaded by this and fed up with the companies that can't just offer you the full experience. I pay $70 and then I have to pay another $25 for a 3-month subscription to potentially get rewards I've paid for, but then I have to play the game how DICE tells me to complete the challenges, or simply play the game like there's no other game that exists, because these tokens are also earned slightly slower by gaining XP before the season expires, and then they release another season pass with another pro version. And that isn't even the icing on the cake. Most players don't actually know that when you're in a vehicle, you can access a radio to play different pieces of music. And they actually removed a local radio station that played the music of the map that was available to all players regardless of which edition you owned. And then they replaced it with a special radio station exclusive to the Battle Pass Pro version. You can't even make it up that this company is so greedy that they'll try to persuade you to give them extra money for an exclusive radio station that you'll lose access to the minute the next Battle Pass Pro version is out in 3 months' time. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say I for one am fed up with the companies doing this type of thing, and a lot of people also feel this exact same way. I know some of you will want to defend DICE and EA by saying just don't buy it, don't engage with it. A lot of players don't want to, but I load up the game and I get a pop-up every single time trying to shove the Battle Pass down my throat. And then I see players reporting that when you do finally buy the Battle Pass, you get a pop-up every time you load up the game trying to sell you the Battle Pass Pro. This company cannot be this greedy for money. They had the blueprint for success, release a game that puts the players first, the actual experience being fun and not squeezing your players like a sponge, but then they straight up pulled the rug from under your feet, started milking your teats for every last penny they can get. On average in 2025, we have 1,500 games releasing on Steam every month, and you know for a fact that players do not have to spend money on this game. But the game launched in a state where it felt like the players were put first. The game was fun and enjoyable, and the overall experience was the heart of the game. And now it's clear that even with over 300,000 players playing the game every day on Steam alone, this wasn't enough for DICE and EA because they want you to buy the Battle Pass Pro and enjoy the free-to-play Battle Royale. The entire community is at each other's throats because you have one side trying to defend DICE and EA for crappy business tactics, and the other half which are rightly infuriated by this type of nonsense. I've never seen a community so divided, and I get it. The game isn't perfect, and some people don't like the current map pool or weapons, that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinions just like I'm allowed to have mine. But it's obvious that DICE and EA knew what they were doing here. The backlash is so bad that the overall reviews of the game on Steam have now dropped below 70%, leaving the game at mixed. And if you're unhappy with these changes, you should 100% change your review to negative. Before these changes, I could easily recommend Battlefield 6 to anyone thinking about picking it up. But now I tell them to stay clear away because EA doesn't care about you and the game itself. They care about how they can squeeze that last penny out of you. We have tons of games this year that actually deserve your money, like Expedition 33, Mega Bonk, Escape from Duckov, RV There Yet, and countless other games that actually put the player first. Cheap games that you can buy multiple of for the same price as Battlefield 6 and its Battle Pass Pro. Even while creating this video, I feel sick to my stomach by the idea of saying Battle Pass Pro. Like some EA employee was there twiddling their mustache with a bald cat in their lap, like some supervillain coming up with the worst ideas in gaming. It's just so stupid that in 2025 we have a company that puts out a great product to then remove its mask 3 weeks later like a villain from Scooby-Doo. It goes to show just how entirely easy it is for companies to ruin everything they built up. Hell, even as I wrote the script for this video, I saw an article that Jagex, of all people, are allowing players to vote on removing microtransactions from RuneScape 3. Talk about giving power to the people with a vote like that to decide the future of a game and franchise they love. If EA and DICE did that, I guarantee hell would freeze over and the world would end. I genuinely miss the days where we would buy DLC packs and map packs like in Call of Duty World at War. These companies are so damn greedy that they'll sell you oxygen to breathe while you play the games they make if they could, and somehow people on Reddit would still defend them. I just don't understand how in 2025 we see game after game releasing with a blueprint of put the players first and the experience first, and you'll be rewarded in the long run. EA was this close to full-time success with the Battlefield franchise, and instead decided to take it out back and put it down before it even started running. The only genuine bit of good feedback I've seen about this update is that the Battle Royale is free and the Gauntlet mode is good, and the addition of earning enough Battlefield coins to purchase the next Battle Pass if you complete it, which a majority of players never do by the way. I stopped buying battle passes because I never finished them, and a lot of you out there don't either. I hate developers trying to tell me how to play the game with stupid grindy challenges, and many of you do too. It stops the experience being fun and becomes a chore and a second job. You finish work or school and you log into your second job, one way you don't get paid, but you pay for the opportunity of doing stupid, frustrating challenges. It's meant to be a game, it's meant to be a fun experience that people can relax and have fun with. That doesn't mean, however, that there isn't fun to be had with Battlefield 6. The multiplayer experience is still great, it's just now layered with bullshit. It's like having a gourmet 5-star meal, then someone flung shit on it, and the restaurant tried fixing it by sprinkling glitter on top. But the glitter is actually a Call of Duty skin. I literally had to stop myself from shouting, "I've played these games before," as I navigated the store and Battle Pass menus before jumping into the Battle Royale experience. This isn't Battlefield, stop pretending that it is, because this is not the experience that players need or wanted. Now, I get there's also fun to be had in the Battle Royale, but I don't think of Battlefield or Call of Duty when it comes to Battle Royales. I love the experience that classic games like PUBG and Ring of Elysium offered. These FPS games keep losing their identity to trend chasing. I can't wait for Marathon to compete with another extraction shooter from Call of Duty and Battlefield in the years to come. Look guys, I've just had enough of this. Game after game in the AAA space has issues like this, and indie games are genuinely where it is right now, for a fraction of the price. I would much rather put my efforts into talking about the positives of the games industry, but I was so infuriated by the update, I had to get my thoughts out about it. There are still supposed to be 2 more content updates for Battlefield 6 on the 18th of November and 9th of December, and I'm already exhausted by DICE and EA after the first one. There is supposed to be another 3 weapons being added to the game, and I have no idea how they're going to implement them, considering the first 3 are in the Battle Pass. EA and DICE were probably better off releasing the Battle Royale as a standalone experience separate from Battlefield 6, but instead it now feels like those players who paid for $70 are paying for all the work that went into the Battle Royale mode and it being free. I just can't stand the feeling we were hoodwinked, and anyone who was skeptical of EA and DICE were right to be skeptical. I guarantee that whenever Battlefield 7 launches, pre-orders will be low because these 2 companies cannot be trusted. Not even weeks after launch. What a miserable excuse of an update to fleece customers of every penny. Anyway guys, there are tons of games to experience on Steam, with more releasing every day that deserve our time and money, and I'd rather find those and give them the light of day that they deserve. Thank you all for watching this video, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again in the next video.